Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to remodel a commercial bathroom space and also a bar countertop, so that way it will meet the ADA requirements. Please stay tuned and continue watching until the end so you won't miss out on any details of how you can also do this kind of work. So this is the bar that we built several months ago. Actually, in this same channel, I uploaded another video where I showed you guys how we built this bar. Now, unfortunately today, we have to pretty much destroy half of it, or at least take it down, and we have to redo it. And the reason for this is because our client, they had to go through the inspection process with the city, and they found out that to meet the requirements and before they can open up this tea house, because that's what it is, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like an old Asia tea house. And so before they can open this, the city is requiring them to have ADA, to meet the ADA guidelines. So that's why we're here demoing, continuing to demo all of this tile in the bathroom, opening up the wall space, and so we can get access to all the plumbing, all the fixtures. And afterwards, we're gonna do quite a bit of modification work. So that's why we're over here taking down all this tile that is around this existing bathroom mirror. We're gonna take down the mirror, and actually we're gonna cut out all of this drywall, because as we removed all of this tile, the drywall is kind of compromised. So we're just gonna cut it straight out and just install a new sheet of drywall, and we're gonna take mud and apply some smooth texture, and we're just gonna paint everything so it's all uniform and the same look. But that will be in a separate video, because we have quite a bit of progress that we're gonna be covering today in between demoing and also removing all of this material so we can start prepping and framing for the new ADA bar. So this bar over here, it measures approximately 7 feet wide or long, and the new bar height, it's got to be a certain height. I believe it's like 36 or 37 inches tall. The new countertop, that's what it needs to be. So in order to get that result, we're gonna have to cut out that whole return. And even this commercial space, it used to have an old bar. So we're gonna have to cut out some of that old bar, which is, I'm showing you right here. We're using a grinder. That was that old bar. It had like a granite countertop and some tile face. So we're gonna have to cut a good portion of the corner so we can have a clear area to work with and install the new wall for the new ADA height. And so all of this is so we can meet those guidelines and requirements, and therefore our client can be able to open up this tea house in a timely manner. We actually have a deadline of about 2.5 weeks. Today is the 1st of August, and we actually, our deadline is we want to get this place opened up by the 18th. So right here, we already removed all of the drywall in this bathroom space. You can see on that upper half, and pretty much like most of that bottom half is already completely taken out. So now that's gonna be ready so we can start working on modifying all the plumbing and putting it into the place where we're gonna be installing the new toilet, the new sink, and also a new mop sink. And over here, we pretty much removed this old wall that was there before. We try to save all the material as we could so we can reutilize it, especially since most of that we're just going to be cutting it down to a smaller size. So we're going to be able to reuse a lot of that wood that we had installed before. And for the bottom framing, we're going to install a pressure treated 2x4. And so over here, we're just prepping cutting all of the corner area that's in the way. Then we're gonna install that pressure treated 2x4 on the bottom, secure it to the floor, and afterwards we're gonna start measuring and laying out for the 18-inch on center vertical studs. And then at the top we're gonna put a plate, and then in the face, in the very front, we're gonna be putting 2x4s horizontally, or they're gonna be basically like vertically, but we're gonna put them in like side by side, and that's gonna give us some additional support for our countertop, because that new countertop, it needs to be 17 inches towards the eating area, and then the rest is gonna be kind of behind. So I'll show you that a little bit later in a separate video of how everything turned out. For now, we're starting to measure and lay out, install the framing, and just making sure that we have the proper measurements, because we have that site plan. And the good thing is that it has quite a bit of detail of, you know, where the length and the width and all that. So for the countertop, we're gonna be using the same kind of material. It's basically a butcher block that you can obtain through the local box store. And this butcher block, it measured 8 feet wide, or sorry, 8 feet long, which we're gonna cut down to size. And it measures 25 inches wide. So that's the one that we're gonna be installing it, and you know, making sure we have the proper depth for the counter space. And then in the bottom, we're gonna be securing it to the studs with 3 L brackets. We're gonna put 1 bracket on each end and then 1 in the middle, and that one is gonna be secured to one of these vertical studs. So the new countertop will be super strong and secure.